All right, we are live. We are live. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. For those that are new, my name is The Dreamer. How are you doing? Tonight, I have my guests in the green room, and I won't let them be there back there very long. But I just want to just mention some upcoming shows that are coming up next Thursday in July 15th. And down here in the scrolling text underneath my face um, would be July 15th would be Reverend Jack. And then July 22nd at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time will be the Pure Music Factory, the video editors. But tonight, I have a special treat for everybody. While everybody's coming in, I would like to thank everybody for being here today. And I would like to introduce to you High Desert Queen, all the way from Austin, Texas. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hey, Matt, thanks for letting us be here, man.
Thank you.
So let's jump. Hey, it's my pleasure. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys being able to work with the crazy schedules and being here. It means a great deal. And so let's, without any further ado, let's jump right into it. So what is the history and the inspiration behind the name High Desert Queen?
All right, I'll start. I'll let Rusty jump in a second. I just want to say thank you again for letting us be here. We love anyone who helps the scene out. It's awesome. So we appreciate everything you do. And just the fact that you asked us to be on here, we are humbled and we love you for it. So thank you.
Well, I love you guys too. And I thank you both. I feel real simpatico vibe, and that's really awesome. I didn't think I was going to meet anybody for quite a while where I would feel a simpatico vibe the way I feel with you guys. So
and the vibes are, man, when you feel that you got to roll with it, right? I definitely, when we were talking before the show started, I definitely felt something going. So that was good, man. It was really good to meet good people. You can never meet enough good people in this life. I'll say that.
That's for sure. Thank you.
All right, but to get started on the history of this, so, man, I think it was about 2.5 years ago, I was trying to get a band going. I'd been in bands before. I met a few people that were wanted to play the same kind of genre as I was playing, so we started jamming a little bit here and there. And just by pure luck, mutual people, they invited Rusty in. And when Rusty came in, who's obviously here with us today, when he came in, because I knew there was something there that was very, very good. Rusty's an incredible guitar player, and we immediately linked up, knowing all right, everything he wrote, I was able to write something too easily vocally, and we linked up really, really well. Fast forward, I don't know, maybe a year, because that was maybe a year later. Fast forward another year. Right before probably the world pandemic, maybe a few months before that, I moved because we were both in Houston. I moved to the Austin area and linked up with some incredible musicians. Our drummer, we have a new drummer, Phil Hook, was phenomenal. He was in some bands at the time called Monte Luna and various projects before that. Incredibly talented, that I asked him to help us record an album. A good friend of mine, Matt Metzger, played bass for us that I'd been friends with for a long time, and they all did was come in and contribute. And we were able to, literally in about 6 practices. What do you say, Rusty? What did we come up with? About 12 to 14 songs, maybe?
Yeah, 14, yeah. Easily.
Probably in the first couple practices, we were able to just kind of, there was a good, like we were talking about earlier, good vibes between you and me, Matt, but good vibes in the room. Mm-hmm. Any musician who knows when you're in the room with the right people, a lot of magic happens, and it felt really, really good. And it just kind of flew out really quick. We were ready to go in the studio after like maybe 2-3 months. We're like, it was actually 2 months. We're like, let's go in the studio. We started recording. We recorded drums in 2 days because our drummer's a beast. he's amazing. And then the world shut down, and we had to wait several months before we could even find a studio that would open back up for us. We were lucky enough to find a studio in Austin at Red Nova Ranch with Jeff Henson from the band Duel. If you're familiar, they're a very great stoner rock doom band out of Austin as well. And he recorded us. We finished it last September, I think it was, and it's been done for a while, but we know we're going to release in October, and that's the exciting thing for us. And I don't know if I left anything out, Rusty. You'd be happy to jump in there if I forgot something.
No, I think you covered most of it. I think part of the question was the name High Desert Queen. And that has to do with you. I know that. So I'm going to leave that. You can tell that story.
All right. So, yes, thank you for keeping me on track because I'll talk forever. And Matt, we talked a little about this before the show, you having a connection to the high desert. My brother and I, we travel to the high desert area. For people who are not familiar, Southern California, specifically Joshua Tree, is an area that I love to go to. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
First time we ever went out there, my brother and I, it was many, many years ago. We went out there, saw the desert, went to an area called the Salvation Mountain, and different places out there. Slab City, which my brother and I both said, if we ever screw up in our lifetime, that is a place we can disappear and nobody will find us. and there's a whole community out there, and they make it work, and it's great. But we fell in love with it. Like we talked about, it's like the third time we're mentioning it. I'm all about vibes, and I got a good vibe from that area. And so we've always been in love with the high desert. And when we were trying to come up with band names, I was pretty much tied to this high desert idea. And we liked the idea of calling it the High Desert Queen, mainly because it's a tribute to the high desert and a tribute to Mother Nature. We love the desert. I think the desert plays a huge role in the world's ecosystem and everything. And Mother Nature is the most powerful element we can physically know in our lives. There's others spiritually, but physically we can really get in touch with Mother Nature. And I think that the High Desert Queen, that's paying homage to the most powerful being we can possibly know here on Earth.
And well, I'll tell you, Joshua Tree is a real good place for that.
Yeah.
Real good place. And, were you guys ever big fans of the Doors? Did you see the Doors movie?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Jim Morrison went out into the desert with Ray Manzarek. And, he went out there by himself, and he went out there with Ray and Robbie, John. I got to tell you, when I watched that, I thought to myself, yeah, that's exactly what the desert is for.
Yeah,
agreed.
And then I thought to myself, man, if I say that, I'm going to get a jacket on me I'll never be able to get rid of. But then I thought to myself,
yeah.
But, so when I went out to the high desert, and, like I said, about 20 years, I never had that. I had never had that experience. I had a different kind of experience. But I got to tell you, when you're wandering in the desert, like those guys were, there's something that happens to you. There's something that happens to your mind. There's something that happens to your body. And there's something that happens to your spirit. There's a reason why, the high desert is depicted like it is in documentaries and movies. And a lot of the desert, the high desert, and I'm sure parts of the low desert are all, somehow connected to Native American land.
Absolutely, man.
And it all ties in visions and everything. See, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know if you both have had this experience, but I got blessed by an Indian shaman and a Native American magic man.
That's awesome.
I gotta tell you, my life, the way I look at stuff, the way I feel, the visions I have in my dreams at night, which is what brought together what you see here.
Yeah,
Um, I It all stems from that, and
man.
and let me tell you, that stuff is powerful.
Oh, I believe it.
That
You've got
stuff does.
you've got one up on me. That's something I
Yeah.
definitely. Oh man, that's incredible. That's something that would be so cool to be able to do. That is an absolute honor, man. I'm sure that was a life-changing experience for sure.
You will have an out of body experience if you ever encounter that. Your feet will get real light. Your legs will get real light. Your
Wow.
chest, your stomach will get real light, and you'll feel as light as air, and you'll just feel like you're flying. It's incredible.
That's awesome, man. That's
It's
phenomenal.
incredible. And I think that's one of the things that attracted me to your band, the band's name.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, High Desert Queen. That is a great name, man.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I could talk for hours about that stuff, but this is all about you guys.
Well, that's
And
something we'll do off camera at some point because I want to hear an in-depth story about that. So let's make sure we do that when the show's off. We'll do that. Okay.
you got it. You got it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the music of High Desert Queen. I have 2 videos here
Okay.
that I need to pop up again. So, what is the inspiration behind the mountain versus the quake?
There you go.
So I'm gonna play that, and then I'd like to maybe talk about that song a little bit if we can.
All right. The only setup I'll give before you play is that Rusty wrote this song. Phenomenal guitar riff. He sent it to me, and literally within maybe a day, we had this song mapped out and written. Of course, then we showed it to the band, and it had life. But when Rusty writes a riff he's not going to say it, so I'll have to say it for him. When he writes a badass riff like this one, it makes it very easy to feel the power and the strength of like the earth, literally the earth shaking, which inspired me to write the lyrics of this song. That's all I'll say before you hit play.
Okay, and thank you. I didn't know what I was going to say yet. I just know what the music of High Desert Queen reminds me of, and how it makes me feel. But I'll save that. I'll save that for later, but a little later on. But thank you for saying that, Rusty. You truly are amazing, because the music is earth shattering. I love this. I love you guys. I can definitely say that without a shadow of a doubt, I'm a diehard High Desert Queen fan.
Oh, that makes us feel good, man. That feels really, really good right here in the heart.
Definitely.
Well, hey, dreamers, I'm going to play a video now, and we're going to talk about it. Check it out, High Desert Queen. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. I love that run.
No one gets quite as high as me. Stories told about my majesty. Push so high for all the world to see. Over the clouds is where I'm meant to be. I am the mountain you wanna break. Turn me to dust now. I'd rather than wait. I am the mountain you wanna break. Turn me to dust now. It's
Amazing. Well, you guys in the chat, that is High Desert Queen. So shout out in the chat. Everybody can ask the band one question. I'll make sure that they know. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. My name is The Dreamer, and this is my little piece of paradise, Dreamland Studios. You're watching Hanging with The Dreamer. There we go. Where do I start? Well, okay. Mastodon and Sabbath. Drop,
Man,
tune down a half step.
that's pretty. Man, that right there is already like makes me just feel like wow when someone tells me that, because those are two incredible bands, of course.
So am I right by saying that?
Huge influences. I mean, Sabbath for sure. I mean, Rusty wrote the guitar riff. I'll let you talk about your guitar influences before I give mine.
Oh man.
Well, yeah, I mean, definitely Sabbath. There's just so many, people growing up in the 80s and 90s. There were so many great guitar players before that I was able, not just me, but we were able to pull from, all the way back from, I know that they don't really maybe fit the mold of that, but, the Allman Brothers band was always a big influence. Well, my favorite all-time song is Whipping Post. I mean, that's just phenomenal musicianship in that song. Everything they did back then, but early, I was just listening to Led Zeppelin 1 today. That's my favorite Zeppelin album of all time. And
it's the best Zeppelin album.
It is.
I just love it. But all of this, but then coming up in the 80s and 90s, I was able to pick up, some of my favorite 80s guitar player is George Lynch. So, I mean, doesn't really fit, but, there's certain stylings that kind of pick up there. But then through the 90s, there were so many great guys. I mean, the guys from Pearl Jam. I mean, you got Thal from Soundgarden. I mean, just so many of them that were changing music from kind of like a certain format to kind of more of a 70s sound again, that we were just able to pull so much from. There's just so many great, but definitely Black Sabbath, 100%. Definitely Mastodon. I mean, those guys are phenomenal. And that name has come up with us before, the Mastodon and Black Sabbath, the Soundgarden. So, I mean, there's so many.
And what's crazy is, Rusty, you literally describe bands encompassing 4 decades,
right?
But yet it all comes back. Like, it all comes back around. And I mean, clearly when Rusty sent me that guitar, he sent me that riff, because we used to, for a while, I think we even did that song electronically. Like he would Rusty wrote that in his own home studio and sent it to me, and I just was blown away. And that was one of those deals where I think I was on the road, I was driving, which is some of the best writing I've ever done, by the way, is in the car. I was driving to Houston, and that song from Austin, that he sent me that song, I played it for the first time, and I didn't have, the full song written, but in that first 20 minutes, or the first 2 or 3 times that I listened to it, I just did back to back. All I kept thinking was like how powerful that riff was and how strong it was, and something about earth shaking was what kept coming to mind. Anybody who's ever written a song, no, there's no rhyme or reason to anything. It's 99% inspiration. Like, just why did the word earthquake come in my head? I have no idea. It just did.
Well, I'll tell you, the Rusty, the riff. First, I was thinking, okay, drop the 13 gauge Journey ball strings. I mean, my mind's going through all this, right?
Right.
They drop the every string is tuned down a whole step.
Correct.
And with 13 heavy 13 gauge strings, and then I saw like 100 watt beast. I saw like this 100 watt Marshall or Friedman with the gain turned way down and the master turned way up.
Yes.
To get that headroom in that punch, but clean, clean, organic, clean tone. I'm so glad to see that my inspiration has shown me that. I'm glad that I was able to see that.
Yeah, you got a great ear for that, because that's one thing I've always noticed about Rusty is that, I mean, we're a heavy band, but we don't play with the gain all the way up.
No,
on the guitars, because it's about tone.
Definitely.
It's about that headroom and that punch.
We were very, very lucky in the studio that just so happened when the world shut down, there weren't many studios open, so we went to Jeff Henson's studio. And he had, of course, we took all of our amps with us, but he had some great amps of his own that, that just were phenomenal amps. And we were able to crank these things up, just like you said, that's exactly how we did it. It was all that natural amp sound,
Ray Hi, Ray.
Good old Ray, man.
Hey, Ray.
My number 2 fan, Mark Taylor, is here. Mark Taylor is a good, solid dude. Mark has been on my guest appreciation show.
Awesome.
And he's not a good dude. Ray Peach. We want to hear Rusty's solo.
Hell yeah, we always want to hear Rusty's solo.
And then there's my wife. There's my baby wife. Hi, baby.
Gotta have the family in there, right? Got to. Yeah. I know my brother's on here somewhere. He's been writing some stuff, so I know.
And Ray, hi, Desert Queen. Ray, we love you.
Yeah, that was me letting him know we love him, because Ray's a good guy.
Hey, Mark.
Yes, Ray's awesome, man. He's a great bass player. He is.
Let's see. Long live High Desert Queen. I fully agree with that.
Yeah, that's my brother, by the way, and I gotta throw this out there. I wrote in the chat if you see it coming up. So my brother, there he is, Shay. He really is the true creator of the band name. Just so I want to make sure that's known. Like, I had this idea we were going to be High Desert. We didn't know High Desert what. We didn't know. And he came in because he's the one that he and I are the two that go to the High Desert all the time, and he's the one that suggested High Desert Queen, and it made the whole Mother Nature comment worked out great. So I always joke that if he didn't do that, we'd be the Low Forest Kings, which wouldn't be near as cool. So
that's a good name, actually. But maybe
the tribute band. If we're ever big enough to have a tribute band, that'd be the tribute band that would
There we
cover our
go.
songs, the Low Forest Kings.
That's it. So Rusty, I got this riff in my head. I don't comes out of nowhere. I hear you play. I hear what's coming out of your heart, what's coming out of your soul. And it resonates with me. It resonates with me to where I feel like this electricity, and I feel just like this, just like under the ground's moving underneath my feet, even as we speak. I got this tingling in my feet, man. It's crazy. And I got to tell you, anybody who thinks I'm out of my mind, or thinks that this guy dreamer, he's out to lunch, he's off his rocker. No, actually, I'm not. Actually, I'm quite sane. I'm quite well. It's just that I play and I understand the language, and
Right.
music is a language. It's its own language, and you got. I don't know how else to put it. I, and hearing you play, Rusty, and hearing you sing, Ryan, and you guys have your own language, and you it's powerful. And the reason why Mastodon came to my mind, number one, I'm a big Mastodon fan, and number two, I saw them when they opened up for Disturbed.
Oh, yeah.
And with Slipknot headlining. But let me tell you something, when Mastodon came out and opened up this show.
Yeah, if I was Disturbed, I wouldn't want Mastodon opening up for me.
They just,
Yeah.
they're just powerful. So that's what I think.
As tight and big as that band is, I would not want to be on the same bill with those guys.
That's
They're huge.
They are.
Crazy. I mean, those
Yeah.
guys are monstrous. And as a matter of fact, on the subject of Mastodon, the Museum of Pop Culture up in Seattle, Washington, had a tribute to Alice in Chains.
Oh, wow.
And Mastodon was there, and they played again.
I heard that.
You saw that?
Phenomenal. Because Alice in Chains is one of my biggest influences
Mine
as
too.
an artist. And
Mine too.
the Mastodon cover was unreal.
That was crazy. I mean, it was just the four of them. It looked like they were in this room in the pop culture big giant building in Seattle, Washington. They were set up, they had their in-ears in, they were locked in. Bill was over here, and it's like they just
blew it away, man.
When they started, my eyes were just locked on them, and I was reliving Mayhem Fest, right? And I was just like, I was just like, oh man, I can't believe I'm checking this out. And
that whole tribute was really, really well done. There were so many good bands.
Phenomenal.
So good.
Phenomenal. The whole thing from beginning to end. It was just crazy.
It had a little bit of everything. There was artists you didn't expect to do it.
Yeah.
It was
and that's
what
really made
cool.
it special. That's what made it special.
Yeah, I agree.
Is that even when Alice in Chains' longtime manager had her daughter who was all grown up playing piano.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
amazing stuff. Amazing stuff.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to get off the topic, but I'm thinking about Mastodon.
Anything about Mastodon and Alice in Chains is totally on topic. You can't get off topic on that.
Exactly.
You can't. And we've actually been told, we've been given, like Rusty mentioned earlier, we've been given the Mastodon reference before, and that is such a huge compliment because of what great musicians they are. Like that's what makes us just be like, wow. That's what blows my mind. Yeah.
You know something, while we're sitting here talking about this, part of me wants to pull up the YouTube video performance in case anybody hasn't seen it before. It's just phenomenal. Just the way they're just locked in, and Bill and Brent are just locked in the pocket, man.
Oh yeah, they're so in tune with each other. It's crazy. It's
locked
crazy.
And loaded, man. That was crazy outside.
We can only aspire to be that locked in. They're that good for sure.
They are.
Those guys are amazing. I love them. So,
well, the fact that you love Mastodon and you compared us to that, man, thank you so much. That feels good.
Very humbled. Very humbled.
Yeah.
I'm just speaking the truth. I'm telling you what I see, what I feel, and you know something. I want to play this. I still have the video here. Would you guys mind if I played that video again?
No, not at all.
Because this is so Mastodon. It's amazing. Enjoy, everybody. I have to play it again. This is just so impressive.
Thank you very much. And I also want to let you know, this is the demo version. If you're playing our song again, this is the demo version.
Are you playing
Mastodon?
I think Mastodon. Or
what song are you gonna play, Dreamer?
Oh, I'm gonna play. I was gonna play the video that you sent me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I just got them playing.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
I hope 2 passes is enough. We do have some new people online. Probably watch it. Who knows?
So if you were not here, and if everybody could help me with the commands for all the links, is in the description box below, and I would really appreciate it if everybody could help out here. It will free me to really make sure that doing my part, that the show runs smooth. So if everybody could really help us out tonight, it would be really cool. And
be much appreciated.
Big time. So if you missed it 5 minutes ago, here it is again. New music from High Desert Queen.
And give us a comment, ask us a question. Tell us what you got.
No one gets quite as high as me. Stories told about my majesty. Push so high for all the world to see. Over the clouds is where I'm meant to be. I am the mountain. You are the queen. Turn me to dust now. I'd rather let the queen. I am the mountain. You are the queen. Turn me to dust now. It's
Oh man. That is remarkable. That truly is remarkable.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I gotta tell you that is just something. Let's go over to yep, I totally agree. Long live High Desert Queen. Who's out there? Ask us questions. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, hey Shay.
Yeah, he was the man.
Shay. Little Forest Kings. Yep, tribute band.
That's gonna be the tribute band coming up
That's a
Mhm.
great name. Great
out
name.
there somewhere.
Question for Rusty. Where is, Rusty, your dream live venue for a High Desert Queen to play at?
And I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I don't know, one of the places would be Red Rocks.
Yeah, that's top of my list too.
That's, I personally never been there, but I've seen so many concerts from the TV on it that it just looks like the ultimate setting for an awesome night. Full moon in the sky, nice crisp desert air. I mean,
Yeah.
Dreamer, have you ever been there?
I did live in Denver, Colorado for 3 years.
oh
Oh,
wow.
wow.
And
Lived everywhere, man.
I have been, I've been a lot of places.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to have to spend some time in Top. I've been a few places in my
Yeah.
life. But I lived in Denver, Colorado for 3.5 years.
Nice.
And in that time, I went to Red Rocks. Red Rocks was the party spot.
Mhm.
You'd meet up with a whole bunch of new people and stuff. And I remember a few nights. Come on, get in the back of the truck. We're going up the canyon to Red Rocks.
Yeah.
Keg up there. I'm like, oh, cool, man. Let's go. And it's when the place is empty, noise echoes.
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it?
You're talking and your voice is just echoing off the cliffs, off the red clay. It's crazy. It's a magical place. I can definitely see the Red Rocks in Colorado is a magical place.
Yeah.
I want to do some research on it because I really think, and the time that I spent there, when the winter time, no concerts.
Right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the whole place was in its complete natural beauty state of beauty.
Yeah.
I think that there's some Indian land around there somewhere.
There's got to be. Well, I think it all was at one point, right? So
It's crazy.
so definitely.
It's amazing.
I've never seen a concert there. I went to Red Rocks, I guess it was just a couple weeks ago now, maybe 3 weeks ago for the first time. But my wife and I went up there. Beautiful. Like awe-inspiring beauty up there.
Mhm.
So it would be a dream to play a show there. I know the question isn't for me, but
I was
that's
gonna
definitely.
ask you.
but that's definitely up there. I would say the place for me though, the first place would be in the Joshua Tree Desert somewhere.
Okay.
Like there's a Stoned and Dusted festival that plays out at Pappy and Harriet's in Pioneer Town. I would like to play at Pappy and Harriet's, and then out in the desert they play the next night. That would be, I mean, High Desert Queen needs to play in the high desert. It only makes sense.
I agree.
Right.
I agree.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you know, it's Joshua Tree in the wintertime is just as magical as Red Rocks in the wintertime.
Yep, I believe it.
It's just crazy. There was something about the desert in the winter. You know, it's just, you know, I'm not much of a beach guy. I'm more of a mountain guy. You know, I prefer the solitude of a clear blue sky and surrounded by magic and Mother Nature, being out in the mountains, and you know that's where I get my energy from. But I gotta tell you, Red Rocks and Joshua Tree in the wintertime, it's not a bad way to go.
I believe it. I believe it. That would be ideal. That would, I mean, I've been a Joshua Tree in the spring and the fall. I'm going there in the summer the first time this year to experience the true heat. But I know that but in the spring and the fall, it's just like, it's beautiful. You can't get any better than that. The weather's just phenomenal.
Well, on this subject, take plenty of water, stay hydrated.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
exactly.
Take it from somebody who knows if you're going to drink, if you and your brother and everybody you're going with is going to, you know, have a few beers or whatever, make sure it's at night.
Yeah.
And it's cooler.
Exactly. We've been told that for sure.
I take it from somebody who lived in the high desert for a long time.
Yeah,
I learned that one the hard way.
Yeah.
And I like you guys. Otherwise, I wouldn't have said anything.
Yeah. If you didn't like us, just tell us, hey, drink all the beer during the day. Don't worry about it, right? Yeah.
Well, I just
we appreciate that.
So, with your music, what is the ultimate goal for High Desert Queen when when it comes to their music?
All I know is musically, we don't really feel like there's. I mean, we've been classified as like, you know, stoner rock, doom rock, desert rock. I just think we're hard rock, right? We're just a rock band, and I think the ultimate goal is to write as much music as possible that we feel is good enough to have our name on it. Like I don't think that. I mean, as an individual, you know, I'm like, oh man, I want to go see the world and play as many shows as I can. But
Hi, Brittany.
There's Brittany. That's my wife, beautiful wife, right there. She had to jump in and say,
meet you, ma'am. Welcome to the show.
She's in the airport right now, waiting to fly here. So she's tuning in for me, which is awesome. But I think the ultimate goal for us is to write as much music as possible that we feel is still creative and good, and that we can really. I mean, you said it earlier, Dreamer, that the music is, in a way, music is what brings everybody together, right? It's the ultimate connector. It's the ultimate positive lifter. Like it fixes everything. As live music has even come back recently, you know, because everything's been shut down with the pandemic. Live music is really, like, I see it down here in Texas as it's cathartic. It's helping people get back to normal, and it's bringing people together no matter what views you have in your life. You know, music is the common denominator. And if we can even be, I don't know, mentioned in that same breath as, you know, something that makes something positive happen, right? Like give some kind of positive outlook to somebody else. Like just you alone right now, you saying that you identify with this music, Dreamer, we've done it. We've done what we're supposed to do. if we get more people, great. But the fact that we reached one person, to me, is like that's a huge win for us as a band. And we just like there. And every musician knows there's nothing better than being in the room with the guys that you enjoy being in a room with, that create something that all feels good and comes naturally. That's all I want to do. That's all I want to do the rest of my life, as long as I can.
That's
And
the way to do it.
And if that sells records, cool. But that is not none of us are planning on living the rest of our lives just being musicians. We probably realize we're going to have to keep other jobs and do other things that we need to do. But music is what holds us all together. So we want to do it as long as we possibly can until our fingers and our voices don't work anymore.
Right.
Well, we got somebody here in the chat, and that's a good thing there, Ryan.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad you shared that. Thank you. It means a good deal. There's somebody in the chat that very well could be your next fan.
All right.
Chris Live. So, hey, Christopher, welcome to the show. I haven't seen you for a while. I hope you're well. Has High Desert Queen ever played a show in Michigan?
Not yet. Haven't gotten up to the wonderful state of Michigan yet. We've really not even played outside of Texas yet. That is changing soon. We're going to be playing in Louisiana here in another month or so, which is just outside of Texas. But we have not played in Michigan, but we'd love to. We're hoping. I mean, isn't Detroit like the rock city? Right? Like we gotta play up there at some point, right? But we have an album coming out in October. The 15th is when it should come out, and it's no mystery. I think the worst kept secret in the world for the music world is that we've been signed to Ripple Music, and we're going to be releasing our record on Ripple, which is a huge honor for oh man, we're so humbled for that. Them being such a reputable label, it's going to help us play some shows, and I definitely want, because I want to get to Michigan. I want to get to every single place in the States for sure. And then we know next summer we're planning on playing over in Europe. And so we're hoping we're in the process of building a tour around a festival we're playing in Scotland next May.
Where in Scotland?
Edinburgh, Scotland. So we're
Edinburgh?
playing at Edinburgh. Edinburgh, Scotland. There's a big festival called Red Crust Festival. We'll be playing next May. It's gonna be awesome.
Oh wow, that's gonna be huge.
Yeah,
that's
that was and a huge honor that somebody we don't have an album yet. We only have one song. To get someone to reach out to us, ask to play it was a huge honor. How could we say no? So we made it happen. But we want to play everywhere as much as we can and share the music with as many people as we possibly can.
Well, there's a little place here, a little restaurant bar here in Southern California. It's in the city right next to me. It's called Route 66 Clubhouse. It's in the city of Glendora, California. And they have bands play there and stuff. So when you guys are going to start moving around and playing different spots across the states, if you come to California, I would if you guys played at the Route 66 Clubhouse or the Continental, or what's the other place?
All I'll say is that any place called the Route 66 anything, I'm in 100%.
Right.
Well, that would be a great place for you guys.
That is like red-blooded American bar right there. I can tell.
That's my favorite. That was my favorite place to go for a band. Was the Route 66 Clubhouse.
Awesome.
In Glendora. I'm just absolutely amazed at the honesty. See, I've been so fortunate to have bands on here that are just so honest and so pure about what they're doing and the music they're writing. You guys fall right into that. If I could put a video on and the very first time I play it, my whole body's just jolted with electricity, and my feet are tingling. It's like feeling
That's,
it in my heart. You guys got it, and that's why I picked Sabbath, Mastodon, Alice in Chains. Well, mainly Sabbath and Mastodon. It's
yeah,
because there are some bands that can have that effect on me the first time around, and then some bands that it takes a little bit, no disrespect
No, I understand.
to anybody, but a little bit used to, taste a little bit at a time, get used to it,
right.
and then two or three times around the rosy, you're like, "Ah, all right, cool, but you guys got me the first time,
Wow.
and for you guys to get me the first time, that immediately puts you, High Desert Queen, that is, in the same um, world of music with Alice in Chains,
Man.
Mastodon, Zeppelin, Sabbath, um, and throw some orchestrations
Oh wow.
in on your music. I can put you right up there with Pink Floyd. I can put you right up
Man.
there with Roger Waters' solo stuff, solo music. I
Well,
could put you guys up there with Monolink from Germany, who's my number two favorite German band.
wow.
Well, actually, number three. And yeah, you guys got it. You guys got the essence of that pure American hard rock and roll. And for anybody who has never heard High Desert Queen, I'm gonna play a live video. I'm gonna say the live video towards the end of the show
Okay.
because I that might be a good note to go out on.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I'm gonna say you've got me floating right now, Dreamer. So
Right.
those are some of the kindest words we've ever heard. So I really do appreciate that.
Definitely.
Those don't fall on deaf ears. We are extremely grateful for your kind words.
I'm just telling you what I feel, and what I see.
We need to make sure that when we get our album pressed and done, we need to make sure you get a copy and you can hear it first because we need you to hear it so you can let us know what you think.
Well, you want to do a record release type thing,
Yeah, we should definitely do something like that with you. That'd be great.
live on the show. I have
That
I have my friend Cutter Savage, who's going to do a 3 day record release thing. He's got a big, massive release that he's getting ready to cut loose and throw it up in the air and see what happens. So we're
Nice.
going to make 3 days out of it. He's got that much material.
Wow.
awesome.
So I would like you guys to be able to do that with you also.
Man, that'd be great. I'd love
I-
to, man. That'd be awesome.
Be an honor.
So Rusty,
Yes, sir.
this question is for you. Oh, I just saw, pardon me, Rusty. Sorry about that. Right here, Shay. Dreamer seems like a super cool guy to hang out with. Well, thanks, Shay.
Hey, that's for you. That's not a question for us. That's for you.
Right?
And
Thank you, Shay.
that's the truth.
Thank you.
That is. That is
Oh.
100%.
Yeah, I definitely can see.
Well, hopefully we're all hanging out at the Route 66 bar in Southern California sometime soon.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, I could definitely see us throwing down some shots. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
So Rusty, I wanted to just throw that out there. But Rusty, I wanted to ask you,
Uh-huh.
how many different tunings do you use live, or do you stick to a half step down or a 440?
Right now, everything is just basically full step down with a drop D, so drop C. So on the newer, that's for everything we're playing now. The next album or the one after that, we have talked about doing something more of a standard tuning, but drop it down to like C standard or B standard, something, you know, that's still really low, but where we can use, because you know, you as a guitar player, you know, when you're tuned to like E standard, you can use some of the strings, you know, open or however you want to, a little bit easier than dropping down to, you know, drop C, because it kind of, not everything sounds good, but that, you know, so that's why we've discussed using another tuning, but we're just not there yet. But right now, everything's just straight drop C, you know, and then, you know, so it kind of makes playing live shows a little easier. So you only have to have one backup guitar instead of carrying 4 guitars to a show.
Yeah.
I know when I play guitar on stage, it makes it a lot easier because I can use one finger. So I like the drop tuning. Yeah.
Definitely. But that's just, you know, it's just it's a tuning that they were using previously when I kind of joined playing with Ryan, and I was already kind of using it on my own as well, you know, just in other projects. And so it just kind of became the standard for us, you know. So, but there's, I've always felt like we wanted to get a little bit more, I don't know what the right word is, aggressive or maybe a little darker, heavier. So that's why we've thought about, you know, if we did C standard, it still kind of sound like we are now, but it gives us a little bit better opportunity for writing different riffs, you know.
You know, on the subject of live performance, out of all the shows that High Desert Queen has been able to play recently, what has been your guys' favorite? Okay.
Rusty, would it probably be the last one we played?
Yeah.
Yeah, we played last, not July 4th weekend, but the weekend before last on the 26th of June. We played a show called, it was a festival, Lone Star Unleashed Festival. It was like it was a music festival, which just felt great to be at a music festival because it made me feel normal again.
Yeah.
But there was 20 bands, all bands that we were like, you know, we know really well. And like, by the way, Dreamer, there is a big thing happening in Texas. There's a lot of really, really good bands in the state of Texas right now. Like really, really good bands.
There are.
And you know, we put 20 bands on this bill, and there was 20 other bands that could have been on it. It was very, 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 a lot of really good, talented bands. But it was fun, mainly because we got to see people come out again. You know, there was well over 500 people that came to the show, and it was just good to see people there and people just being normal and listening to live music. And that was the most fun. And when people are on the stage, like standing on the stage, like right up on the stage, you can feed off the energy, and there's nothing like it at all. In fact, the video I think you're going to play later is the first video we played. I'm sorry, the first live show we ever played as the lineup that when I moved here, like to Austin, and it was during the pandemic, and it was a seated show, which was awesome that we got to play live. Awesome. But playing with people seated in front of you was very different than people standing right on the stage and just getting to really feel the energy.
But you still got to play live.
Oh, you got to. I mean, it makes you better as a band.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Playing live is what you want to do. You share your music with people. It's what it's all about. And seated, I don't care if they're laying down. I don't care. We're going to play a live show. You know, I want to play live in front of people. So
definitely, yeah, I agree. That last show was phenomenal. Just so much great energy all day long, all the way until we got the chance to play. It was just great. And then the bands after us as well.
Yeah.
Just a much needed experience for everybody.
Absolutely. Like I mentioned earlier, very cathartic for everyone.
Yes. Yes.
So, what is the well, Rusty? What is your favorite overdrive pedal right now? Right as of
God.
right this second.
You're asking Rusty to pick like his favorite child. That's
I
hard.
know, right?
I don't know how he's going to answer this question. I want to hear the answer to this question. This is going to be interesting.
Lay it on me, Rusty. What is
Well,
it?
are you, when you say overdrive, are you just saying overdrive, not fuzz, or are you including fuzz in that as well?
Well, I'm including fuzz on that
Okay.
also.
It's going to be a tough answer.
If you weren't going to say,
What you got, Rusty?
where'd it go? I'll show you two of them real quick.
Okay.
Our straight overdrive, I got this. It's made by the guy who originally made. What is the it's like a $2,500 pedal now. They only
The Klon Cento.
It's made by the guy that made that. It's his
He already knows.
So yeah. So it's made by that guy. I mean, granted, it's not
I've seen that. I've seen that.
you know, it's a $600 pedal as opposed to a $2,500 pedal. So this to the Marshall Plexi is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Now, other than that, where'd it go? Disappeared. I do have a 1981 Rat. That was one of my favorites.
Oh, Proco Rat. I
Yeah.
had one of those back in the day.
Yeah,
Tried and true.
Tried and
Man.
true.
Tried and true.
Big time.
got the original 308 chip or whatever they put in it.
Yes.
But another pedal, which I don't know where it went. I think it's in my bag, but it got used quite a bit. Is the Black Arts Pharaoh. It's a very good pedal. Very good. One of my favorites.
And that's
probably the most used pedal we used on the album, right?
Probably so. Yeah, for the ones we actually had to use a pedal on, you know, because there were some of it was just straight amp, you know.
Right.
But for the songs we need a little bit of fuzz on, that got used. But now that I've switched amps, I don't even have any type of overdrive pedal on my board anymore. Just using straight amp. So.
What are you using?
I'm playing through a Dean Costello amp, kind of a boutique amp maker, and it is by far the best sounding amp I have ever played. And I have high watts, Saldanos, Oranges, Marshalls, but this thing is a monster. I can only turn the gain up to about 2 or 3 on it, and it's just
Dreamer, it's a beast. You got to hear these amps. They're beasts.
I'd love to hear it.
It is just phenomenal. So, matter of fact, I love it so much that I found a used, because he's got like an 8-month wait period right now, and I wanted to have a spare, so I found a used one online, the 50-watt version, and I snatched it up just to have it. So,
they are incredible amps, incredible sounding amps.
yeah. So, you know, but you know, we ever start touring where we're using a backline, I'll definitely put the Pharaoh and this guy back on the board, you know.
The Klon.
Yeah, the Klon. They're just safe. They're my favorites. Yeah.
So Ryan, thank you, Rusty. Ryan, what is your favorite guitar that you have right now?
Man, I have a custom Dunable guitar. It's a Yeti guitar, which I love. It's beautiful. It's just it's a beautiful natural wood guitar. Now I have one coming to me that I'm extremely excited about. That it's the best birthday gift anyone could ever give me. My wife bought it for me. She surprised me with it, but there's such a long wait list on getting these made. It's an EGC, Electrical Guitar Company. I'm not sure if you're familiar. They're all aluminum guitars. And
wait a minute.
All aluminum, Electrical Guitar Company. It's going to be anodized, because they don't dye them, anodized orange.
Yeah.
Or what we like to call High Desert Queen orange.
Right.
And I can't wait. I can't wait to get it.
Okay.
I've always been a Gibson guy. I like a heavy feeling. Just I mean, yeah, it's heavy on the shoulder, but just a heavy feeling guitar. The Dunable is that, and the EGC is supposed to be that. So I'm looking forward to that.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to the EGC too.
Yeah, we all are. We all are. We want to play one of these things because they're pretty rare. So we can't wait.
So, Rusty, what about you? What is your favorite guitar choice right now? What's your number one right now?
My number one, which has been from a very long time, is this guy, Gibson Les Paul Custom. You know, it stays.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It doesn't get much better than those guitars.
It really doesn't. It doesn't.
I recently I started playing a Flying V Custom. I just got it matches. It's like the little sister. And only reason I started playing that because it's a little lighter on the shoulder. So if I want to take it easy for the night, I'll play that. But other than that, it's a Les Paul all the way. So.
Well, I've been a Les Paul fan for many years. I can understand and I can appreciate that 8-pound, 9-pound neck.
Yeah.
With that ebony fretboard, you just grab onto it.
You're right. There's something about just picking it up.
Yeah.
Like just grabbing it to put on your shoulder. You're like, it's like you're going to war. Like it's just got this like, man, I just feel locked and loaded, ready to go. And they're good.
Every note you can feel, you know, because if you have like a bolt-on Strat or something, you play it. Yeah, it sounds great and everything. But when you play the Les Paul with the neck through, every note just sings from the top of the neck all the way through the body. It just sings. Yeah. So that's why I love those guitars.
Let me tell you, would you mind picking that up again,
Sure.
Rusty, please? I just wanted to look at it real quick. Okay, so
just gorgeous.
We're looking at a Black Beauty Gibson Les Paul Custom.
Yeah, gold hardware,
mother of pearl on the fretboard. That is, why am I thinking a 75?
That's what it looks like, right?
I wish it was. It's what is it? I think it's much newer. I think it's a 15, to be honest. It could be a 13.
But you've got a
I do have a Holy Grail guitar. I have a 1979.
I knew it.
Paul,
I knew it.
What is it? Yeah, the Silver Burst.
Oh, you have the Silver Burst Custom?
Yeah, 79. Yep.
So jealous.
That's the one. That's beautiful.
I had one and I sold it. And man, talk about seller's remorse. You're selling a guitar. I wish I had never gotten rid of it, right? He just didn't know. He just didn't know back in the day.
Well,
but yeah, he's got some. His Les Pauls are about as good as they get, and Rusty's got a little bit of everything. He's been playing guitar for a long time. Yeah, and he's going around. You can see him in the back there. He's looking for that guitar right now.
That's cool. No, I appreciate that. I shouldn't be going on a gear trip right now. I just.
It's what musicians do, man. It's what we do.
I can't help it.
Our gear is like our children. Oh, there it is. There it is.
Look at that.
I knew it was right there.
That right there is a vintage Silver Burst.
Yep.
That is a mid-70s Silver Burst.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
So
mid-70 Les Pauls are my favorite Gibson Les Pauls are the
mid-70s. Yep, the Norland era. So
the mid-70s.
They changed the bridge pickup to a Seymour Duncan, but I do have the original bridge pickup for it, so I'm going to stick it back in there. So
it's beautiful, Rusty.
Thank you.
That's it's like thank you for tuning in to this edition of Guitar Porn,
right?
Featuring Rusty Miller.
Well, speaking of that, after the show's over with, I do have a guitar company that I use that
Okay.
I would like to turn you guys on to.
Okay, great.
Absolutely.
I see your love for single cuts. I see your love for Les Paul style
Right.
guitars. And I see your love for having that pure, thick
Oh
mahogany
yeah.
wood tone with that ebony fretboard and
Yep.
the mother of pearl inlays and everything. So I've got I've got four guitars sitting over here. Two
Oh
of
wow.
them are from this company. So
Nice.
I will definitely have to turn you guys on to that
Please
before
do.
we say
Absolutely.
goodbye. Let's see what's going on. Come on, everybody. Say hi to the band. Say hi to High Desert Queen. Say hi to me. Say hi to my wife, Cindy. Say hi to my daughter, my four-legged daughter, Annie.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
wife, I think, is still probably on somewhere too. You can say hi to my wife. She's waiting in the
definitely.
airport. Her flight's been delayed again and again. So
Wow.
Mhm.
she's which it worked out. She can tune into the show. She was like, I'm not gonna be able to see it. I'm gonna be on a plane, but now she's gonna tune in. So
Well,
not the way she wanted to, but at least she's gonna tune in.
Right.
that's awesome. That's awesome. The Wow, getting YouTube notifications already. You know what I'm thinking about? I saw a real nice one. Somebody commented on the live show. Okay, people can comment
Hmm.
on while the show is live.
Hmm.
So somebody commented, is really enjoying the show. His name is Johnny Bean. He's a real big EVH fan,
Oh,
and
nice.
he's very, very much well tuned in with the EVH world and EVH gear. Johnny's a good guy. I Before I really started to really learn how to do this stuff, I used to have a show way back when called Artist Talk. And the reason why I changed that is because I would Google it. I would Google, I go to Google and I type in Artist Talk, and it was like way down in the searches. I was like, oh man. So
Oh,
then, but as soon as that one faded night, I was laying in bed with my wife and we were talking about something. I kind of looked up at the ceiling, at the wall, and my eyes started to shut. And as soon as my eyes started to shut, I heard Dreamer. And I opened my eyes and I'm like, whoa. Because I started like, hairs on my arms were standing up. The
Hmm.
TV was off. I didn't want to wake my wife up. So, okay, I don't want to do that to her. So I, I, I sat up on the bed. I looked out into the night, kind of shook my head a little bit, went back, laid back down. I was up a couple hours later to see my wife off. And yeah, I had some coffee and I had I've had some music playing. I had a band called Sainted Sinners on the show once from Germany. I was
Hmm.
listening to their music, getting ready for their show, so I was kind of meditating on everything and breathing and doing my morning meditation. And then all of a sudden, everything went black, and it was like it's like 6:45 in the morning, and everything went black in my mind. And all of a sudden, I heard these words, "hanging with the dreamer."
Oh yeah.
I'm like, my mouth dropped. I'm like, oh my gosh, man, hanging with the dreamer. And all of a sudden, I started to see in my mind's eye. I started to see, this is it. This is it. This is what I got to do. And so the first thing I did is I went to Google and I Googled "hanging with the dreamer." number one came up on the Google search. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah, that's just weird, right? That's awesome.
Wow.
so ever since then, I've been known as a dream.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
That's the story, long and short of it.
Out of
But
body experience, right there. You gotta heed the omens, man.
big
Heed the
time,
omens.
big time. So, not to get off High Desert Queen, but for High Desert Queen, you guys inspired me to want to share that.
Well, thank you.
So
I'm glad you did. Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you for listening.
Oh, definitely.
I thank you, really. But what I would like to ask you guys, what would be the biggest stage that High Desert Queen can perform on, and where would it be, and how would you like to get there?
Man, let's see. What do you think? The largest stage, I would say, I mean, to me, I don't know. I mean, I don't speak for Rusty. I speak for me. I just know that I want to play like with the bands that are like my heroes. Like I want to be on the same bill with somebody. Now, a lot of these bands that are heroes aren't together anymore, sadly. Like a lot of our influences, but I want to be on the same bill as someone like Queens of the Stone Age, or someone like I mean, I guess you could play with Alice. It's not the original Alice in Chains, but I'd love to do it.
Mhm.
Some of my biggest heroes, like Mark. I don't know how familiar you are with Mark Lanigan. Mark Lanigan's like one of my biggest heroes
Yeah,
ever. And to me,
yeah.
the biggest musical achievement for me would be like, well, playing with him would be great, but doing some kind of collaboration obviously would be a dream.
Screaming
But
Trees.
oh yeah, big influence, right? I don't know. That would be the ultimate for me, playing on some kind of stage like that. And I know one of your questions was, and how would we want to get? What was the way we want to get there?
How
Man, I
would
just
you
want to
want
get.
to get there?
No, I want to get there the way it's supposed to be done. Like I just want people to, if people like the music, then that's great. I don't want to do anything that, like, I don't want any favors, or like I want it to be done the right way. Where like we've been very fortunate to not have an album out and have had people recognize us already, and that's great. And if they want to keep leading us in the right direction, I'm all about building relationships with like you and with ever else, but as many because that's going to last forever, right? So I want to build as many relationships as I can, and if that allows us to do things, that's great, because I already feel like we're playing shows that are already bigger than we are, and I think it's just because there's a lot of really good people in this scene. There's a big family involved, and I like to somehow be involved in that in some way. That's for sure.
What about you, Rusty?
I would have to echo a lot of what Ryan said. I think that's kind of a common thing between myself and Ryan, and not just myself and Ryan, but a lot of the other guys in the band as well. Is we all kind of had the same type of vision. It's a mutual vision. Playing with anybody, that has kind of carved the path, that we've all look up to, like whether it's Queens of the Stone Age, Alice in Chains, the newer version of it, anybody that's kind of set the path. I mean, there's bands that probably don't even fit in this genre that I would love. Sammy Hagar is freaking awesome. Like Circle. Jason Bonham on drums, guitar, Michael Anthony on bass.
That would
Playing,
be awesome.
to support something like that. Just any of those guys. But and just and growing our supporters or audience organically, just by playing, getting our music in front of people, whether it's playing live or a friend sharing our music with someone else, like yourself, just that's. But that's kind of how how I feel, very much the same.
Not to, I couldn't pass that up, mainly because Fruitcake Tony's been on Fan Appreciation Show,
All
the
right.
Fan Appreciation Day show, two,
Well, what's up, Tony?
3 times. Tony, ask ask High Desert Queen a question, man.
Hell, we're all ears. We're all ears. Oh,
Brittany,
that's probably my wife saying she's still waiting for at the airport. Yeah,
that sucks.
yeah, I
The,
know.
that's hard. The well, that's interesting. That's very interesting because I know that I just had a band on last night. It that Splintered Reality, and they just got signed on to play a festival that's sold out, over a
Oh,
100,000 strong,
Wow.
and they're going to be on the same stage. It's a pretty big name people, and I was thinking to myself, they're more of a futuristic, on kind of a Nine Inch Nails cross futuristic metal band. You
okay.
guys, I could see you guys playing with Junkyard, and I could see you guys playing with Reverend Billy G. Like
Oh yeah,
if Reverend Billy G does something like a solo deal, or
Hmm.
maybe even open up for ZZ Top. I mean, I
That's the
could,
ultimate. That's
Yeah.
the ultimate.
Being
I
from
can see
Texas
that.
is easy talk. Yeah, yeah.
I
In
can see that.
Texas, that's the mecca for us.
Yeah.
ZZ Top. I can open for ZZ Top, and then I can die the next day and be fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you that would be something, and I could
Hmm.
actually see you guys making it all the way to the Wacken Festival in Germany.
Yeah.
I would, then take the same stage that the Scorpions have played on, and that
Yeah.
Accept has played on,
Yeah.
Metallica's played on. I mean, the list, Slipknot's played on. The list is endless,
Right.
Right.
But I can definitely, I see that. I see that, and for some reason, it's kind of coming to me that I see Tony Iommi reaching out to Rusty
Oh man,
Wow.
and
Rusty.
wanting to
Golly. I hope he
want,
does, Rusty.
Right.
want wanting to talk about Tone. For some reason, let me tell you something. I'm a never say never kind of guy,
Right.
and because of that, I've had the experience of some of the awesome, wonderful things because of that, and I believe that anything is possible. And I'll tell you, in the words of my late great stepfather Warren Turner, he told me once, when I came down and I'd broken my left leg and I came down and stayed with my mom and stayed with him. He told me and I was right in the middle of school, and I had a job, and you know things were actually happening for about a year and year plus, and I was worried about what's going to happen to my little house, what's going to happen to my deer, what's going to happen to Minxie Star, my little kitty, what's going to happen to And he told me, whatever the mind of William Starr Dunham, that's me, can conceive, believe, William Starr Dunham can achieve. And those words stuck in my mind,
Absolutely.
and I took it back to the desert, finished school, closed out that chapter of my life, moved on to a new chapter in my path. And so I just want to say I believe in the power a positive affirmation. And
Definitely.
I believe that whatever the mind of Rusty and Ryan can conceive, believe, Rusty and Ryan will achieve. And I believe you guys have a hold of something very, very special in your music, and the sin and the sin, the, the way you guys gel together. You guys are tight, and you know what? Some bands play for years and years and years and never find that cohesiveness.
Mhm.
Some bands just have it.
Hmm.
You guys just have it.
Well,
And
we appreciate the hearing that. That's awesome.
I just want you guys to know that I see big things for High Desert Queen. And
And I appreciate the wisdom you dropped on us, because we couldn't agree more. I think we're firm believers that whatever, I mean, positive affirmation, as you put it, that's an extremely powerful thing.
it
I don't I
is.
don't I don't think any of us would be anywhere near where we are today without a lot of that, right? So
I
we
wouldn't
we have
be.
to we have to do a lot. One thing I've learned a lot, like you saying Tommy Ami's going to contact Rusty, that's like mind blowing. But at the
Right.
same time, I know Rusty's good enough to have a conversation with that guy, because Rusty's a phenomenal guitar player. But I also know that, like you said, anything's possible with, you just got to go and do it. And I have learned that we've made a lot of relationships in the music world
Yeah.
just by reaching out, just by having some common ground. Because at the end of the day, everyone is just people, and we're all finding a way to get together is awesome.
Hmm.
And anything can happen.
Absolutely, certainly can.
Yes.
Anything can happen now. And if an futuristic industrial metal band could end up on a stage in a festival with a sold out crowd of 100,000 plus strong,
Right.
that just goes to show you
Yeah.
Yep. I agree.
I
that
agree.
anything is possible.
Yep.
If
Absolutely is. Absolutely is.
as long as you believe and you stay true to yourself and you stay true to your loved ones and you stay true to your cause, you guys
Absolutely.
you guys are so powerful live. And
Thank you.
what I'd like to ask is, how, Rusty, how, Ryan, do you guys manage to play small bars with full raging half stacks?
And sometimes full stacks. If we can bring them in, we'll wheel them in. One thing that's great about the genre we play in is volume is not a turnoff. We can play because as we talked about earlier, to get that tone, you got to have the volume up, because the
Yeah.
gain's not up, so the volume's got to be up. And
Yeah. Yeah.
and we're very fortunate to play some venues that allow us to play as loud as we do. I have to say, some good friends of ours, though, I was telling Rusty the other day, good friends of ours, they're another good band you got to check out, also on Ripple, called Holy Death Trio.
Hmm.
Uh, they another Austin band. They just played a show in Dallas, and the venue got ticketed for it being too loud
Mm.
when they played, and I was like, man, that is the most rock and roll thing ever. That's awesome.
It is.
I was just like, congratulations, man! What you have arrived.
Oh,
You got a music venue ticketed for being
Amazing.
too loud. That's awesome, right? But so we're very lucky that in the genre we play, people know it's going to be loud.
yes. Definitely.
That's you know that's amazing. That's
Mhm.
amazing. There's no places. I mean, it can be done. It can be done. I've seen it done.
Mhm.
Yeah, and the master is just like about 4 or 5, and kind of the mics were kind of set off
Right.
center, kind of out of
Mhm.
the way a little bit. so that the Marshall half stack wouldn't completely blow the PA down or anything. So the
Right.
mic kind of pulled off to the side a little bit so the sound could go straight and go up. You know,
Yeah.
it worked. It worked. It worked. And yeah, it can be done. It can be done. But I guess I just started looking at all in one boxes because I was a line 6 user for a while. And then after I sold all my line 6 gear, I got a Boss GT1, which is like the entry level.
Right.
Till I'll know it, that's a fun little pedal to record with. And you can actually get decent recordings out of that thing.
Definitely.
But now with the ISP Theta Pro MSX, that thing is just a freaking monster.
Yeah.
And the tone's so organic.
Yeah.
Like it sounds like Rusty's half stack. It sounds like your half stack, Ryan.
Right.
It's just totally Matt, just gigantic. But I gotta tell you, there's something to say about playing live with real heads and cabinets.
Oh yeah.
Because look at how Master Don pulls it off.
Yeah.
Yep.
I will say, just to add to that, and other projects I had been kind of using the amp modeler, like a fractal or something like that with like FR speakers, flat range, flat response speakers.
Yeah.
And they're great for a lot of music, but when I knew going into High Desert Queen, this was about moving air through, out of these speakers, and that's part of it. When you walk into our rehearsal room, your whole body is vibrating from the air being moved out of these speakers. It's just phenomenal.
And let's be honest, Rusty, you have to play loud in our practice space just to be louder than Phil, our drummer.
Yeah, our drummer.
He's a beast.
He
hits so hard.
Rusty
has to turn his guitar up just to be over the drummer. I'm not my vocals are non-existent in the practice room.
Yeah,
because they're so loud.
He's the hardest hitting drummer I have played with. I've been playing guitar in bands for 30 something years now, I guess. So he's by far, and we're so lucky to have Phil. I just want to reiterate that. I remember first time we saw Montaluna, we had opened up for him one time, and I remember sitting in front of the stage talking to Ryan. See that drummer right there? That's the drummer we need. And just so happens, 6 months later,
lo and behold, he was actually our drummer.
Yeah, he became our drummer. We just
not by design, just like we talked about, just positive energy. Just somehow it just somehow aligned, right? Somehow aligned.
Yeah.
Well, for the last hour or so, everybody's been sitting here, and thank you everybody for sticking around and watching the show. It really helps the show out and keeps the show in the YouTube algorithm to hopefully get pushed out more for more eyes, for more music fans, for more people that are curious about what is this thing, about music and to more people. So thank you. It means a great deal that everybody is staying here. Now, you've heard everybody here in the chat and that's watching this live right now and will catch this on the replay, will hear me talk about, has been listening to me go on and on about Master Don and Sabbath and the power of live music. Well, I got a surprise for everybody. If in the chat, if anybody has not seen High Desert Queen live and experienced everything that I've been trying to say tonight, I've got a video for you. Enjoy.
What he means. not very much. We're high.
High Desert Queen, folks. That is High Desert Queen live. Let's see what the chat's got to say. Shay. Oh, I love it too, Shay. Thank you. Well, you guys, what a great way to bring this to a close. I wanted everybody to feel the power and the raw intensity of High Desert Queen live, because I gotta tell you, to me, to millions of people all over the world, rock is not dead.
It is not dead. It is not dead.
Rock is very much alive and breathing. And thanks, Mike.
Right on, Mike.
What can I say?
Awesome.
You know,
And I want to say rock is not dead at all. There's a lot of people who aren't aware of that. And I got to thank people like you, Dreamer, for letting people know that rock is still alive and well. Because some people are still listening to all those bands were really good a long time ago. I still listen to them too. But a lot of people don't realize that there is a lot of bands right now making really good music.
Absolutely. And before we close this out tonight, is there anybody or any brands that may see this on the replay somewhere down the road that you guys would like to give a shout out to?
Well, obviously, we got to first thank our bass player Matt and our drummer Phil, and of course Bobby, who helps us out playing guitar now too. We gotta say what's up to those guys, because we're in debt to those guys. In the room, they're the reason why the magic happens. I'm just excited to be a part of the Ripple family, like we talked about earlier, and to have an album coming out in October to share with everyone around the world. That's the main thing I'm excited about, is being able to share more music than just the one song that we have right now. I mean, we've had one song out for a while, right? And I'm ready to get all the other songs we have out there. And obviously, I know I'm in debt to my wife for letting me have the craziest hobby in the world, for letting me play loud music at all hours whenever I want, and running around to all the shows that we play and whatnot. So that's for me.
The wives.
Yeah.
Without the wives right there,
We'd be zero.
Yep.
Oh, big time. I know I would be. Without Cindy by my side,
Yeah.
I don't even want to think about where I'd be right now.
Yep, I know. Rusty's the same way. If our wives have not left us with all the packages that arrive at our doors, and
I got an entryway full of stuff my wife has bought in from the front porch every time the FedEx guy comes by. You got another guitar, another amp. I mean, I'm very, very thankful for my wife, and she kind of holds the fort down, lets me go do what I want to do. It's been a lifelong dream to always play music, and so I mean, I feel the same exact way. Yeah.
Without the wives, it's my life has gone so far because of Cindy, and I owe her everything. My lovely wife of going on 4 years this year has made it possible for me to pursue my dreams, and for me to be Will and be who Will Star is deep down inside. And she's absolutely remarkable. Without her, I'd be a basket case, and
Yeah,
and I'm just being real, you know,
yeah.
and
When you find the right one, they make you better people, man. They really
Yeah.
do.
you know, I so usually what I like to ask my guests. Well, I just want to give a couple big shout outs real quick to the O'Donnell Media Group and to Shauna O'Donnell for helping me um, helping me arrange interviews with their artists. And I also want to give a big shout out to Jay Remy and High Voltage Video Magazine that's going to be featuring my show Hanging with the Dreamer in his magazine for the fourth month in a row.
Wow.
Jay's a
Um,
good guy, man. He's a really good guy.
he's a real good guy, and he's
Mm.
done so much. He's done so much for me, and
And he's in Houston, I believe. Texas
mm,
boy.
yeah,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
and O'Donnell Media Group is here in California, in Whittier, California, and she is the CEO and the president of the company, Shauna. She is arranged Reverend Jack for to come on my show next week. And she's also got a couple artists lined up for me in August. And without people like this, people like Jay and people like Shauna O'Donnell Media Group on Facebook, um, I I question myself. Am I good enough to get top rated talent on my own? And every time that I think I'm going to run out of interviews to submit to Jay for the magazine, I'll wake up one morning and there'll be a message. And I'm like,
That's how it works, man. It's a beautiful
first,
thing.
first thing I do is give thanks where thanks goes.
Mhm.
Yep,
And
absolutely.
I don't take anything for granted. It's all a blessing and a privilege. And what's even more of a blessing and a privilege is to have you guys with me tonight on the show. So, do you guys have any questions for me?
Well, all I know is I hope I know the answer because we talked about earlier is can we do this again?
Of course.
That's all I need to know is if we can do this again, we're in good shape because it's really been a blessing for us to be able to be on your to have you interview us and be on your show because we love anyone who's willing to share the vision that we have is great, but just sharing the music with even if it's 5 or 5 million people, we don't care, and we love anybody who's willing to take the time and do that. Thank
Definitely.
you for everything you do, man. Really do.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you guys. And I want you to know that as far as I'm concerned, and I don't make this offer to very many people, but as far as I'm concerned, I consider High Desert Queen, I consider you, Ryan, I consider you, Rusty, part of the Dreamland Studio family.
Thank
That's
you.
what we want. Love it. It's an honor to be a part.
Thank you. It is
And
a-
I it means a great deal to me. And I look forward to many long conversations
Absolutely, man.
about gear. I'll play some Mastodon.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Play some of my favorite Sabbath, and
Yeah, we
I
could
look
talk gear and music all night long. Don't worry about that.
Oh yeah.
so I look forward to many more conversations with you guys,
Awesome.
both
Absolutely,
live
man.
on the show and off. My phone number is, well, I can't. Mm, well, I'll wait till
Yeah, you can
well,
send it to me. Send it to me off air. I'll get it.
but yeah, feel free to text me anytime.
Cool.
I've got
Absolutely.
Stress Level Red on tap. They've been on the show,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to get them back.
Cool.
I
Cool,
absolutely
man.
love that. I love that band, and those guys have my number, and you do, and I want to make sure that you guys have my number.
Cool.
Absolutely,
So
man.
I
Thank
could
you so much.
send me a message, and I'll send you a picture of my guitars, and
Awesome.
maybe a little story behind each of them,
Nice.
Absolutely.
if you guys would like.
Would love it.
hmm
But everybody in the chat, let's see. Hey, Lenny Lou, how you doing? Thank you for stumbling in. Love all the love. Well, thank you for being here, Lenny.
And we love the two, Lenny, and I feel nothing but love. So it's been really good.
Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. And don't forget, next Thursday, we're going to have Reverend Jack on. Reverend Jack. Start doing your research now. Check out, follow all the links for High Desert Queen. Support High Desert Queen in everything that they do. Where can everybody go to get High Desert Queen merchandise and music?
Best place is our Bandcamp, just highdesertqueen.bandcamp.com. It's got our merch on there. It's got our one single that we have out right now. When our album comes out October 15th, it'll have the rest. We also have on our Instagram page, there's a new shirt design we just released that I didn't know how well it would do. I put it out there. I said, hey, I didn't put it on any website. I just said, send it to me if you want to do it. And I've had a lot of people order that shirt just through our Instagram page. So it's been really well received. It's been great.
Nice.
But yeah, we're on Spotify and everything else. Anywhere else you can find music, we're there. But and hopefully, come October 15th, we'll be worldwide with a full album.
Yes.
Hey, High Desert Queen, we'll rewind. Looking forward to hearing. Love the EVH box. You got me already.
Awesome.
Thank you.
There you go.
Awesome.
See, I told
There
you.
go.
Thank
There
you,
go.
Lenny.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you for being at the show. So
Mhm.
everybody, Reverend Jack will be here next Thursday. Be coming on in 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then July 22nd, the Pure Music Factory will be here, and we'll be talking about video editing, doing video for big celebrities. Be talking about inspiration behind the video concepts that the Pure Music Factory offers. That's going to be very, very special.
That sounds good.
And Reverend Jack is going to be another kick-ass rock and roll time. And just like High Desert Queen, you guys, much love. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on the show.
Much love, Dreamer.
Yes. Thank you, Dreamer.
And I will I'm gonna play my outro video, and I hope you guys enjoy it. This is a brand new video I put together for the show, and I start off with the bang and everything, with the fire and everything, the big countdown clock and everything. But I made my outro video kind of simplified because I didn't know what I was going to do with it, so I just kind of left it. And I'm really kind of happy with the way it turned out. It's like the come down video.
There you go.
Yeah. I hope you guys enjoy. Rusty, you gotta come on the Dreaming Guitar show.
Would love to. Would love to. It'd be an
honor. Love to have you on, and we'll just dive in deep, man.
Yes, sir. Would love to
dive in deep here. Ryan, I'm gonna send my number to you over on
Please do.
Desert Queen, and stay in contact with me. Rusty,
yes, sir.
Please stay in contact with me.
I will.
Absolutely.
Certainly.
Thanks so much, Dreamer, for having us, man. Much love. Really appreciated it. Especially everybody who tuned in too, and who's going to tune in. Much love to everyone. Spread love. That's all I can ask. Spread love.
Yep.
Hit those support links down in the description box below. My PayPal. Dreamland Studios needs all sorts of love. Hit up High Desert Queen. Support local music. Support High Desert Queen, because I truly believe that this band has a bright future, and I believe that they have something real powerful that they're trying to say to the world. And I want to see them do it, and I believe they will. I'm a supporter, and I'm a fan, and I love this band, and they're my brothers.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, you guys.
Thank you, man.
All right.